Come on, sing, Anita. Sing, Anita. Hey, what's going on, y'all, man? I'm in here just enjoying some good music, listening to that Anita Baker Sweet Love. I want to talk to y'all about a movie I just saw yesterday. I was highly entertained with the movie. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Me and my girlfriend, me and my lady went to go to the movies yesterday and check it out, and I was thoroughly impressed. That movie is called The Upside. It's starring Kevin Hart, Nicole Kidman, what's his name, Bryan Cranston. Did a great job. All of these individuals did a great job in this film, man. First, I enjoyed the film. Well, first, let's talk about what the film is about. It's about a man who's a quadriplegic. I believe I believe that's the way you pronounce the word, a quadriplegic. It means he can't move anything below the neck. He's a billionaire or millionaire. Well, I don't know if a billionaire, but a millionaire. He's very rich, and he's looking for a new caretaker. Nicole Kidman, who is his caretaker, she's trying to figure out someone else to be able to take care of Philip, the character. And enter Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is a man who's just recently got out of prison, did some hard time in prison for, I think, a firearm charge. So he's been estranged from his former girlfriend and his son for years, and he's trying to get out and get his life back on the right track. He has a parole officer. That parole officer is trying to get him to find a job, and he has to get papers, signed signatures, or he'll be in trouble of getting back in jail. So he initially goes to what he thinks is a cleaning job, just a cleaning job, and he finds out it's much more. He's caring for an individual who cannot care for himself. Upon realizing this, he's like, look, I can't do this. It's nothing I want to do. He wasn't happy with the jobs that, the PO was suggesting or the computer was suggesting when he was trying to find a job. He's like, listen, I don't want to do this. I got to find something that's for me. This is not for me. I just need this signature so I don't go to jail. But Philip, even though he knows that Kevin Hart's character is named Dale, he's not suited. He has no experience taking care of another person at all, let alone a quadriplegic. He has no experience doing this. He still takes him on and say, I want you to be my caretaker. And they embark on this beautiful journey and a friendship that has one another breaking down walls. Philip, who has a guarded personality, he's really standoffish with people. He's really closed off for the most part. He's not opening up to anyone really, except for Nicole Kidman's character. I'm trying to see what her name was in this film. I'm trying to remember. I'm gonna look at it right now. Nicole Kidman's character is Yvonne, right? And she's a business partner, and she became his caretaker. But now of course, she was looking for someone else. Other than that, he's not close to really anybody. When he meets Kevin Hart, he sees a guy who's down on his luck, but a guy that's entertaining, who's lively, who at first he has scenes in this film that you really wouldn't like his character at the beginning, but he comes around slowly but surely, and Philip begins to break down his walls, and he begins to open up. You see him laugh and smile much more than he ever was before he met Dale, who's Kevin Hart's character. Kevin Hart, he had no idea of what real responsibility was, what caring for anybody beside himself was. Even though he had a son, he had spent so much time doing knucklehead activity, and in prison, he really had no idea of what being responsible for another person was. So in this, he found out what being a responsible person was, and his job with Philip helped to be able to take care of his son, something that he wasn't able to do before. And it led to him trying to build a closer relationship and a bond with his son, and bettering his son's living situations. His son and his son's mother, they lived in the very bad conditions in the project. So I was just so interested in how these characters came together and how they each other had vulnerabilities, and they exposed these vulnerabilities, but they were able to break them down together. And that was a brilliant part of the movie. I was impressed with Kevin Hart's acting in this film. Usually Kevin Hart is a loud, Kevin Hart, for the most part, most comedians, especially Kevin Hart, they play the same role in every film. They always, Kevin in particular, I'm going to talk about Kevin's characters in all his movies. He's loud. He's going to be loud at one point. He's going to just crack jokes throughout the whole film. He's just going to scream and holler at certain points. And while there are certain parts like this in this film, Kevin is much more serious than we've seen him before. Much more serious of an actor in this film, and that's something that I appreciated. I think he went beyond the surface in this film, and he really displayed some acting chops, and I was thoroughly impressed. Bryan Cranston had a phenomenal job. I don't know if anybody else could have played this character or Philip. I think he did a marvelous job, and the chemistry between him and Kevin Hart was evident, and I definitely appreciated it. Nicole Kidman's character, Yvonne, how she's not trusting of Dale, Kevin Hart's character at first, but then she comes around, and Dale has a way of making everybody more loose and more comfortable due to the personality that he has. Even though he can be sarcastic, he can crack jokes, he can be, at first he can be a little off-putting at times. His humor and his, I guess, carefree nature makes everybody else around him more willing to engage in things that they normally don't do and have more fun and be more loose and just live life, which is seen when at the party in a film. Spoiler alert, it's really not a big spoiler, right? But he had Yvonne dancing, and she was much more of a stern, like, upright person. So I thought this film was beautifully done, man. I thought it told a great story of how two individuals from two different walks of life. Philip was a millionaire. Kevin Hart was far from it. He was making $1,000 a week at this position, being the caretaker for Philip. He had never in his life made this type of money before. But when he got with Philip, his life began to change. And how two people from different walks of life can come together and help each other with certain things that they need. Philip was missing. He was a closed-off person. He became more open, became more fun to be around, more loving and warm. He had a warm nature when he came around Kevin Hart's character. Kevin Hart began to be a much more responsible person. He began to realize maybe what his purpose was and what he wanted to do through working with Philip. He began to realize what his purpose was and what he was supposed to be doing by working for Philip. And he was able to fulfill fatherly duties that he didn't do in the past and make amends for the trauma that he caused in the relationship between his son, between him and his son, and between him and his son's mother, which I thought was definitely great. I saw a lot of people giving this movie flack, a lot of people giving it thumbs down. I don't know why. Well, I think I know why, because I found out that this film comes from another film. It was adapted from another film called The Untouchables. From what I heard or what I saw or looked up, it was a film I think is in French, but it has subtitles, and a lot of people really enjoyed that movie, so they feel like it shouldn't have had a remake. What is the purpose of having a remake is how they felt. And I guess they were upset, so they don't really want to see a remake of this film. Me personally, I think everybody should go see it and check it out. I think you would enjoy it. The story is beautiful. I really enjoyed this movie, man. Like again, two people from two different walks of life can come together and help each other with certain things that they need, not physically, not always monetarily, but certain things that's missing in their spirit, in their soul, in their personality. They can awaken things in each other, and that's what they did. And it turned into a beautiful friendship in the movie. And like again, man, I really Kevin Hart had a great performance in this film. I really think if you don't take him seriously, you hate Kevin Hart in movies, I think you would appreciate him in this film if you check it out. So y'all need to check out The Upside, starring Kevin Hart, Bryan Cranston, and Nicole Kidman. Let me make sure I'm saying that man's name right. Bryan Cranston. Yes, I said it right. Yeah, I really think you all should check it out. You got a chance to. If you really low on money, go check it out on Tuesday, because I'm in most places. I know in Chicago they got $5 holla on Tuesday. Every movie is $5. Every other day of the week, you can go see it. If you go see the movie before 11 o'clock, it's $6 any day of the week. Here in Chicago, I think that's pretty much everywhere. So if you low on funds, check it out then, man. But I think y'all would definitely appreciate this movie. Check it out. Peace.